Well, here we are, the big one, 2019 British Masters, the grandest stage of them all. This is the one that they all want to win, and boy have we got a lineup today. We've got solos and 1000cc sidecars today, and of course the left-hand sidecars as well, but the lineup in both of those Masters classes really is something to be excited about. In the solos we've got British Masters former champions Paul Hurry and Andrew Appleton. We've got reigning defending British Masters champion Zach Wajknecht. We've got 3 times British Masters champion James Shanes, and a whole plethora of other riders that are world-class riders. And we really don't know where the title's going to go this afternoon in the solo class. In the sidecar class there might be a little bit more clarity, but with the sidecars you never really know. Gareth Winterburn has been teamed up with Billy Winterburn all year, but for this meeting he's with Liam Brown. Liam's back. They won the title last year, and Gareth has been absolutely flying this year, so for many people he is the favourite. But of course you can never write off Mark Cosser, and he too has returned to his usual passenger Carl Blythe for this afternoon. And Rod Winterburn is making an appearance too on a brand new outfit. He's passengered by Billy Winterburn. So there's been an awful lot of chopping and changing, an awful lot of changing of outfits, but those 3 teams seem to be the ones that lots of people are talking about. But then you've got crews like George Penfold and Bradley Steer, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey, Tom Coster and Wayne Rickards, and a whole load of other riders that are in with a shout with the Masters today. It really could go anywhere. The track is looking superb, the venue is looking fantastic, the club have worked really hard to make sure that this is an absolutely brilliant event, and we cannot wait. So the first 2 crews we've caught up with now, we had to really, Rod Winterburn today passengered by Billy Winterburn, and we've got Gareth Winterburn as well, who will be passengered by Liam Brown. Rod, great to see you here. Obviously you haven't been out this season. No. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think I am, yeah. New bike, I've never been out on it before, so just a bit apprehensive, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And yeah, obviously we've got the new bike in the background. It's just before we came on, Billy said it's never been on the grass. So anything different about this one compared to the things that you've ridden in the past?
Yeah, just a little bit different. Just a few measurements on the frame different. And the tank's down below, so we've got pumps on. We've never raced with pumps before, so you know that will just take some getting used to, but I'll just give it a blast and see how it goes.
And Billy, obviously this season you've been mainly riding with Gareth, so you've sort of, and riding your own outfit as well, but you and Gareth had some great rides up until this point.
Yeah, well, when I first started my career I learnt with Gareth, and I learnt from his style, and he told me when I was going wrong, and he obviously didn't tell me when I was doing right because he wanted me to carry on doing it. So jumping back on with him, it just felt like home, almost. He's not lost it, I've not lost it, and I just gelled with him straight away.
And then obviously on the run up to this meeting, every week I've been asking you what's the crack with the Winterburns, who's going to be on with who, and nobody really knew right up until this week really, and the man himself just walked in. So on the run up to this meeting you were riding with Gareth, and now you're on with Dad, or you didn't really know, I don't think, did you?
No, we weren't 100% sure. We were just waiting to hear from Liam to see what happened there, and then we'd sort of make a decision. But we'd made a decision whether, if worst comes to worst, what was going to happen, or best comes to best, which is what's happened. This is what we're doing. So.
And this was the sort of A plan, really.
Yeah, it was really for us both to be on, well, for Liam to be on with Gareth, who he's ridden with for the past 3-4 years now, and me to be on back of my dad for 3-4 years, so just carry on the team as it is.
And so I'll just bring Gareth in now. Gareth, obviously this season's been going brilliant for you. You started off with Liam and then Billy's come on, but both times you had plenty of pace and you must have been really pleased with that.
Yeah, we've had a cracking season. I don't know what's gone wrong, but we've made it work, and yeah, we've kept it up and just keep going. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something right.
And last year, of course, your first Masters title. I know that Billy had already won one. Your dad had obviously won a few, so it must have meant a lot for you last year to win that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the better side of it as well. We're on a home track, we're on home soil, so that were even better for us. But yeah, it was just good to get one under your belt, and then sort of relieve a little bit of pressure, really.
Yeah, so the last 10 years really, you boys have been the thorn in Mark Cosser's side, really, is the way I put it in the press in the week. But this year, Gareth, you just seem to be, you were sort of 4 seconds quicker than Mark at the Wimborne meeting, and beat him at Midshires, and been all over him really. It must feel good coming to this meeting knowing that you've got a bit of a psychological edge.
Yeah, but that could be worse than going. You could get too confident, I suppose. I've been quite nervous all week, really. Yeah, I've been sort of like a bit apprehensive about my bike, and yeah, just hoping everything's going to go well here again today. But it's got to start going downhill at some point, hasn't it?
Well, hopefully it won't be today for you because lots of people are expecting a real good day from both crews really. Rod and Billy Winterburn and Gareth Winterburn, and somewhere around we've got Liam Brown as well. So we've spoke to the reigning sidecar champions. Now we've found the reigning solo champion, Zach Wajknecht. Zach, you won the Masters last year. What a fantastic day that was.
Yeah, it was good. Didn't really expect it last year, so yeah, it was good to do it, but it all seemed to click in the final. So yeah, good meeting, and yeah, obviously one you want to win, riding in the 500 class. So yeah, like I said, it's good for me and everyone that was with me as well, and it was a good day. So hopefully we can try and do the same today.
And obviously last year the circuit was quite challenging, really quite rough, a real proper grass track circuit. And this year this track is known to be quite slick, very different to last year. So how do you think that'll suit you? Oh
yeah, it should be all right. Obviously, I think everyone prefers a smoother track. No one really wants a rough one, but no, last year was a bit more difficult. It was similar, I reckon, similar size and shape, but obviously it was like going uphill and downhill and stuff. So, but no, like I said, if it's a smooth track, it might help me out, or it might help someone else out. So, just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't really know where everyone is. There's so much, we talked about in the intro, there's so much competition this year. There's yourself, obviously Paul Hurry's been going well, James Shanes, you know that you were the one that took the 4th title away from him effectively. There's so many other riders that could do it. Where do you see the sort of opposition coming from?
Everywhere, I think. Like you said, there's so many people that are riding well at the minute, and there's people that have come back to ride this meeting as well. So yeah, you can never plan ahead and look at races and that, because they're all going to be tough. So yeah, like I said, just got to get through to the final, and then that's the main one really. Once you're through to there, and then give it your all in that one.
Yeah, well, thanks Zach. It's been great to catch up with you. Obviously, reigning defending champion. Obviously, this if you manage to win it a second time, it'll mean an awful lot.
Yeah, it should be good. So like I said, hopefully I have a good day, and yeah, if I can win it again, that'd be good.
Best of luck, Zach. Cheers. So now we've got 4 times British Masters champion and obviously former European champion Paul Hurry. He's just finishing his banana, so I'll just keep talking. Paul, obviously you come to this meeting in a little bit of form.
Yeah, just doing what I do. It's no different to any other year, Gareth. It's just enjoying my grass track and doing the best I can.
Yeah.
As they say, same, different day.
I mean, it must be like that because obviously of all of the solo riders here today, you've done more Masters than any other. So there must be a little bit about it that you same thing, different day. Do you think there's any complacency that comes in with this, or do you think it's an advantage to you that you come to it with sort of less nerves, perhaps?
Yeah, to a degree. Obviously, having less nerves makes you very vulnerable, because if you're nervous, you're on your game. But yeah, I'm always nervous whenever I ride. I always get sort of butterflies and whatever. But yeah, it does help doing that many Masters. Sort of when you get to later stages of the meeting, you don't try and let it sort of bother you so much as what the youngsters do. But at the end of the day, it'll probably be my last one, and the new guns are sort of coming in. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean that is one thing that we've sort of talked about, is that there is so much competition at the minute, and we've got obviously we'll come back to that mid-size semi-final in a minute, but we've got sort of 8 riders, could have been 9 in the European final. We've got a lot of good British talent at the moment.
That's it. It's all sort of coming through, obviously with Zach and James and a few of the others. We've got a structure there in place for the kids. Where the foreign countries, I know Germany have got the speedway set up, but like Holland and France, they seem to be struggling with grass track. But who's complaining? If we can get on top spot of the world, then yeah, fair play.
Yeah, and I think what it's done is it's really elevated this meeting into the fact that we've got so many world-class riders here today, like yourself, and it means that it is essentially like one of the best meetings in Europe, I think.
Yeah, and obviously all the promoters abroad are going to be looking at it as well, and obviously with sort of Andrew in it as well, and yeah, like you say, the 9 that are going to be in the European final, it should be quite a good one, and we're all sort of, anyone can win a race, so it should keep everyone on their toes.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is obviously you came to the Mid-Shires semi-final, had a really good day, and then went to Wimborne, and you all beat each other, and then you took a win off of James Shanes as well, and you were right in amongst them there. So have you been surprised by just how much pace you've got? I know that you sort of were thinking about winding down your career, but you're still up there with the top riders in Europe.
I am. I'm winding down, believe it or not. But I've just taken the pressure off myself. Now I do it for enjoyment rather than win. Yeah, obviously you have to sort of prepare the same. But yeah, with no pressure on that, you just go out there and enjoy it. And if it happens, it happens. And that seems to suit me a little bit. Back in the sort of days that I've done quite well, I was more worried about my speedway than my grass track. And obviously you want so much pressure. So yeah, I just take a step back. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
And I think you'll probably say the same to this question. Just you're a 4 times champion. Only Simon Wigg has won this event 5 times. So if you were to win it again today, would that make you carry on for next year to try and be the record holder?
No, I'd stop. That'd be it. I probably wouldn't ride the rest of the year. That'd be it. I've equalled what Simon done, and that'd be enough, I think.
Fair
mate,
enough.
I shouldn't be winning then.
Fair enough. Paul Hurry. So now we've caught up with Mark Cosser and Carl Blythe. Obviously, Mark's a 5 times British Masters champion and Carl's a 4 times British Masters champion. Mark, it looked like Carl wasn't going to be on for a while, but he's back, and that must be a real bonus for you.
Yeah, it's sort of fallen into place to make it a good day. So it's always hard to swap and change passengers because you've got to set the bike up different every time, and you don't necessarily know each other so well. We've rode together 10 years, so it's when you don't have to sort of tell a passenger what to do, it's a big difference.
Yeah, I think that's what we were sort of saying in the week, is that you've had some real good passengers on, but there's nothing quite like the one that you know so well.
No, that's it. When you say we've been together for so long, that it's like when you put somebody else on the back, I don't actually know what Carl does, so you can't tell them what to do.
Yeah. So what do you do, Carl?
Just hang on.
So Carl, obviously you must be absolutely delighted to be back for this one.
Yeah, I've worked hard with the physio trying to get back. I felt like I said the other week, I felt like I could have done Wimborne, but I wanted to bit my tongue and had another couple of weeks off. So went Cornwall last week. It was all good. See what happens today.
Now, obviously, Mark, this season you and Gareth Winterburn have come up against each other a few times, and he's had the edge every time so far. How does that affect your preparation coming into this?
Well, I've been struggling with a mysterious misfire since the start of the season, and we only got it sorted in the last race at Cornwall last week. Finally found out what it was. So I'm hoping it sort of brings it to evens again, rather than being right on the back foot. So I'm hoping that it'll be a good day.
So it's that sounds like you've got a solution, and you don't feel like it's affected you psychologically at all.
No, it's fine. Just back to normal now.
Perfect. Now, obviously, you're a 5 times champion. 6 times would feel real good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's sort of like you can't focus on that. You just got to focus on making a start and winning that final.
Yeah. And Carl, obviously, the other thing I pointed out in the week is that there's only 3 people that have won this event with 2 separate passengers. You're not one of those. Do you think that your career will end with Mark, or can you see one day perhaps you going off and winning it with somebody else as well?
No, I think I've got no plans to move on. When the time comes, I don't think I'll be racing with anybody else. Once he gets rid of me, that'll be me.
Well, best of luck today, boys. Obviously, everyone's really pleased to see the pair of you back together, and that might just give you the edge, that and the misfire situation. So, good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
So now we're with 2 times British Clubman champions, Tom Cosser and Wayne Rickards. Coming into this meeting, it's a track that you've ridden here before, and this is where you won the last British Clubman's title.
It is indeed, yeah, it is, yeah. Bit of a different engine, so go out there and practice and see how things change.
What's different about the engine?
It's a different year to the Yamaha R1. It's had a bit of configuration within the top, so it's just a bit different power delivery, shall we say.
And obviously coming into this meeting, form's been okay. You've been in amongst it throughout the year, had a decent few rides, so feeling confident?
Yeah, I mean, I crashed a superbike at the start of the year, which really offset me. I won 2 meetings and then that was it really. We had a bit of a bad spell, but I think we're past that now and we're coming back up to the top again, really.
And Wayne, obviously, been a good year for you. I know that you've been riding a long time now, but really still enjoying it with Tom.
Yeah, I am, mate. Yeah, so every day, like I said, last time I spoke to you, you're always learning, and I like a challenge, and we seem to be getting right out there with the top boys. Like, so, yeah, it's when you're enjoying yourself is when you start to see results. Do you know what I mean?
And last year, obviously, here at this track, you took that clubman's title, so obviously a track that you really enjoy?
Yeah, definitely. Nice and smooth to ride. We know exactly how the setup is, so hopefully we should be right up there with them.
Well, best of luck today, guys. Obviously, lots of people looking out for you. We talked about you in the press in the week about being a young crew. Not so much Wayne, I'm afraid. But Tom, obviously there's a few youngsters about at the moment, and you're one of them, so lots of people wanting you to do well. So best of luck today.
Cheers, Gav.
Thank you very much.
So now we've caught up with Neil Owen and Jason Farwell coming into this meeting. Perhaps one of the underdogs for the meeting. I mean, you've been there or thereabouts for a long time. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think we've pushed on the last 2 years, done lots of changes. Gary and Gordon's have done lots of changes to the engine, and we just started to pull it all together.
Yeah, and it's been, well, this time a bit later on last year at this track, it was absolutely flying.
Yeah, we just got the setup perfect, and in the final we done a few changes, just come together, use my head a bit, which I don't usually use my head much, but it all come together, and Jason played his part in it as a superb win.
Yeah, and Jason, obviously you've been on board now for a few years and obviously really enjoying riding with Neil.
Love riding with Neil. I wouldn't be with anybody else. And then when we actually get a win, because of the bike so old and we're the underdogs, it feels that extra special, you know. So
yeah,
I wouldn't want to race with nobody else other than this madman here.
Now, in 2001, Neil, it looked like a lot of people thought that you were going to win the British Masters, and they had to cancel it to stop you.
Yes, it was a strange old day. It just got the rain just come down heavier and heavier, and we just got faster and faster. And I think we were the only ones that was lining the bike up on that final. We managed to get into the final. We were lining the bike up, and I looked around, there's nobody else. Everybody else was putting the bikes away. We just wanted to get out on the track. Yeah, it was a superb meet. It just come together. But at the time, the Gordon was really good in the wet.
Yeah, and I think that stuck for a long time. People thought that the equipment that you had suited the rain, and then when it was dry it wasn't any good, but you've proved that very much wrong.
Yes, we've had to get away from the wet meeting. It might work once in a season, so you just had to come away from the wet setup and just concentrate on the dry. And yeah, I reckon in the last 2 years we've sort of caught up with the top boys.
Yeah, I mean, how much power do you think it's putting out? Obviously the superbike engines are sort of getting on for sort of 180 brake now. What do you reckon this is pushing out?
Well, we know. We put it on the dyno at the end of last season, and it's producing 95 horsepower and 47 pounds of torque, which doesn't seem a lot, but it sort of works.
So, but that's really interesting, isn't it, to know that you're giving up that much raw power, but it's not like you're off the pace.
No, it's sometimes when you come in and we check the rear tyre and all that, and it doesn't seem to be worked hard. So obviously the power and the lightness on the bike, we must be about 50-60 kilos lighter the bike, and I really concentrated. Everything is on it, it's got to be on it, and it's made as light as I can.
Yeah, well,
as you can see by Jason as well.
Yeah, not too many pasties.
Rivita diet.
Well, good luck today, boys. Obviously, like I say, lots of people are looking out for you to do well, because back in 2001 when it looked like you were winning it, everyone was up in arms, excited that you're going to win it, and then we've sort of waited every year since. So perhaps this will be the year.
Okay, yeah, we're going to give it our best shot.
Cheers.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Champion He's a 6 times Ace of Aces champion. He is a bona fide legend of the sport, Steve Schofield. Ben Elsley. And the next rider, a 3 times British Masters champion and a former European champion, James Shanes. Number 64 this afternoon, he's the only rider riding an upright machine this afternoon, Chris Malone. Riding number 17 this afternoon, all the way from Yorkshire. He had a fantastic Masters in 2018. Can he repeat it this year? Andrew Whitaker. And the next rider, a very popular rider, a spectacular rider, the Cotswold Express, Tim Noakes. And the next rider, a former 350 British champion, a fantastic grass track rider, Tom Perry. And next up, number 37. He's a regular in the World Long Track Series. We all remember that display he put on at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. Chris Bomber Harris. And number 47 next to him, I'm delighted to see this lad back on the grass track this year. He's made a fantastic return to the sport after a little layoff. Callum Walker. And the rider next to him, riding number 32 this afternoon. He's really come of age this year. He's had several fantastic rides, including a brilliant ride at the Mid-Shires Euro Semi. Jamie Fenn-Smith.
Thank you.
Riding number 4 this afternoon. He's already a 4 times British Masters champion, Andrew Appleton. And the next rider, riding number 109. He is the reigning, defending British Masters champion, Zach Wajknecht. And the rider next to him, a fantastic grass track rider, a real worker of the sport. He's helped to run the Masters last year. This year he's got a much easier job, just riding the machine. Number 12, Daniel Winterton. And next to him, a rider that we are delighted to see back on a grass track bike. For so many years he went off to Speedway and we didn't see him. He's a former 350 British champion, Tony Atkin. And riding number 6 this afternoon. He's well known on the Speedway circuit. He's turned his attention to grass track in the last few years, and it turns out he's a fantastic grass track rider. He's already come 2nd and 3rd in the Masters. Will today be his day? Edward Kennett. And number 15, one of the local favourites, just from Headcorn, just up the road, Martin Sturgeon. And riding number 11, he's in the midst of a very good season. He's campaigned this Masters many times before. He's been on the rostrum already. Will today be his day? Paul Cooper!
Thank you, mate. Yeah, good to see you, man. Cheers, take it easy.
And the next rider along, a former British upright champion, Stephen Green.
Good to see you.
Riding number 41 this afternoon, another good local rider, Stuart Mears. Number 45 is a rider going from strength to strength since turning to the 500cc class, Ryan Ashcroft.
Thank you very much.
And next to Ryan, in his first British Masters, the youngest rider in the field, 19 years old, Liam Ashcroft. And next to him, a rider that Steve would have lined up next to lots and lots of times in the past. He too is a 4 times British Masters champion, as well as a former European champion. He's in the form of his life at the moment, Paul Hurry. Riding number 92 this afternoon. He's nearly wasn't riding, but he is in the meeting. We're delighted to see him here. The British Masters qualifier champion, Charlie Powell. Riding number 44 this afternoon, another local rider that we haven't seen too much of on the grass this year. He's been riding well on the speedway, Mark Baseby. Riding number 20 this afternoon. He's our reserve for this afternoon. He's the National Gradings List champion for 2018, and he's already top for 2019. Aaron Butcher. And last but very much not least, he's going to be fighting in that European final in a few weeks. Before he does that, he would love to win the British Masters. Number 69, James Wright. And now we move on to our sidecar class. And starting us off, it's a man who was there at the very beginning. 1982 British Masters. He was a passenger. He's still here today as a driver. Number 151, Jeff Measer, and his passenger, Gareth Tregilgas. Riding number 25 this afternoon, they are former British Masters champions, Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh. Sidecar number 92 this afternoon, another former British Masters champion, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. And riding number 49 this afternoon, our reigning, defending sidecar champions, Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown. And next in line, number 87, he's a 4 times British Masters champion as well, Rob Bradley and Darren Wills. Number 78, one of the most popular crews around at the circuits at the moment. He's just 21 years old and the passenger's just 25, by far the youngest crew. Number 78, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey. Riding number 9 this afternoon, a rider that's returned to the sport and we're all delighted to see him back, perhaps encouraged by his passenger son Robbie. It's Miles Simmons and Robbie Simmons.
Good, yeah, lovely, thank you.
Riding number 15 this afternoon, a rider that's always been there or thereabouts in the Masters. He's very nearly won it in the past. Could this be his year? Matt Fimarola and Gareth Williams. Riding number 80 this afternoon, another excellent local driver, Will Offen and Steve Hargreaves. Riding number 124 this afternoon, perhaps today's dark horse, lots of eyes are on this crew. 124, George Penfold and Bradley Steer. Number 18, the driver has tasted Martha's victory before twice. He's now turned to the bars. Mick Stace and Ryan Knowles. Number 48 is a crew that have won the British Masters before. 3 times champion, Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn. Number 184, a crew that has been in this event 34 times before, John Hiscock and Terry Madley. Number 29 is a crew that are 2 times British Clubman's champions, They're an excellent up-and-coming crew, Tom Cosser and Wayne Rickards. And next to them, a 5-time British Masters, Mark Cosser and Carl Bly. Next to them, one of our reserves for this afternoon, number 68, Dan Barrett and Josh Russell. And next to them, our other reserve this afternoon, number 30, Steph Blythe and Alistair Sutherland. Number 13, after an excellent British Masters qualifier, he finds himself in this event from Cornwall, Joe Sturtridge and Sean Hoskin. And outfit number 24. 32 British Masters behind him. This is his 33rd. He's a 2-time British Masters champion, Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. And that's all of our right-hand sidecars this afternoon. And we've got our left-hand sidecar support to introduce next.
He doesn't know, does he? No, it's Terry Draper.
So first of all, we had a fantastic day at Frittenden a few weeks ago. Number 96, Tommy Penfold and Terry Draper. Number 7, Alex Bowman and Mark Hopkins.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Number 5 is the rider that had a fantastic day here last year, Tom Penfold and Ryan Barker. Number 67 is an outfit that's new to the sport this year, Jay Sullivan and Stephen Bickley.
Thank you very much.
The next crew are the reigning British champions, number 18, Rob Heath and Kyle Fish. Number 16, John Morris and Dan Woodbridge. And finally, our final left-hand crew, number 125, Billy Penfold and Josh Penfold.
Cheers, Steve. Cheers, Steve.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the British Masters Grasstrack Championships for 2019. We're about to have the national anthem, so please, if you can, stand for the national anthem of Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the grandest stage of them all, the big one, the one they all want to win, the British Masters.
Who's going to go on to be 2019 British Masters champion? So obviously tension really high for these riders, taking a long time to get themselves onto the start line. A very important first race for all of them. It will set the tone for the rest of the day. Go with the 2019 British Masters, and a few of the machines rise in the air as they leave the start, but it's Zach Wajknecht that leads into the turn, but he's quickly overtaken by Paul Hurry. Zach Wajknecht up the inside, but Paul Hurry on the outside, but it is Wajknecht. Chris Harris has got himself into third. Tom Hurry is not far away in fourth, and Harris goes past Hurry going down this corner. So Chris Harris lifts in the middle of the turn, and Hurry's able to get back up the inside of him. A real battle emerging for these front three now as Zach Wajknecht leads them still. Hurry's trying to be around the outside. Into the sixth turn, he comes across the lead going into the next lap. So Paul Hurry just with his nose in front there. Wajknecht's come back in again. Paul Hurry will not let go on the outside line. He's trying to come back across the front of Wajknecht, and he has just about got himself in front now. Fifth place as space becomes past him, struggling with the machine. Chris Harris, but at the front it is Paul Hurry, number 86, the 4 times British Masters champion. Harris is now gone to the back. For the final time they come, and he had to work for it, but it's a win for Paul Hurry. Zach Wajknecht comes in second, Tom Perry's in third, Mark Batesby fourth, Chris Harris recovers his race to come fifth. Just about, I think, Daniel Winterton sixth. It was very close to the line between him and Martin Sturgeon, and Chris Malone eighth. So the results of a very interesting race number 1. It was a win for number 86, Paul Hurry. Second place, number 109, Zach Wajknecht. Third, number 1, Tom Perry. Fourth, number 44, Mark Batesby. Fifth place, number 37, Chris Harris. Sixth place, just on the line, number 15, Martin Sturgeon. Seventh place, number 12, Daniel Winterton. And eighth place, number 64, Chris Malone. And the winner's time was 1 minute and 22 seconds. And the speed, 57.83 miles per hour. 57.83. Those numbers from the top: 86, 109, 1, 44, 37, 15, 12 and 64. So 9 points for Paul Hurry straight away to go into the bank for his Masters. Of course, it's all about getting in that top 8 for the end of the day as we look to race number 2. Away we go to race number 2, and it is James Wright who emerges. Callum Walker's made a good start, but Paul Cooper's led into the first turn. It's very close going into that first turn. Paul Cooper leads. James Shanes tries to tuck up underneath him, but it is still. James Shanes now into the lead. Paul Cooper tries to go round the outside of Shanes. He's got extremely wide as he comes round this turn. Has he left a gap for Tim Nobles to come up the inside? Not quite. So, James Shanes in the lead. In second place, Paul Cooper. It's Gnome in third, but that not the third place. So we start to settle down then. James Shanes, number 93, the 3 times Masters champion. He looks very quick in this opening ride. James Wright has now pushed himself onto the back of Paul Cooper and he's going to challenge for that second as well. That flag is made ready. James Shanes very, very good in this one. Paul Cooper and James Wright in that second and third. That does not look like it's over yet. Has Cooper done enough to keep James Wright at bay? Wright's much tighter going into that turn. Cooper overlocked the machine and James Wright just about stopped himself. To be content with third. It very much looks like that as James Shanes takes the win. Paul Cooper does hold on to that second place. James Wright in third. Tim Nobes is in fourth. Callum Walker fifth. Andrew Whitaker sixth. Jamie Fenn-Smith 7th and Ben Ilsley 8th. So, race number 2 of the 500cc solos. It was a win for number 93, James Shanes. Second place, number 11, Paul Cooper. Third, number 69, James Wright. Fourth place, number 2, Tim Nobes. Fifth place, number 47, Callum Walker. Sixth place, number 17, Andrew Whitaker. Seventh place, number 32, Jamie Fenn-Smith. And eighth place, number 82, Ben Ilsley. The winner's time, 1 minute 20. 1 minute 20, and the speed, 59.28 seconds, 59.28 miles per hour, so considerably faster than the first one. Those numbers again, 93, 11, 69, 2, 47, 17, 32, and 82. So, race number 3. Ben Barker not in this one, of course. Charlie Power is the replacement for Ben Barker in this race. So away we go with race 3. From the outside I can see Edward Kennett and Andrew Appleton have made an excellent start, and it is Appleton that leads going into that first turn with Kennett in second. Charlie Powers dives up the inside, and as I say that, Appleton stops in the middle of the corner. Kennett that now leads. So what was that problem with Andrew Appleton? He just pulled up very quickly in the middle of the turn, and that's left Edward Kennett out in the lead with Charlie Power in second. Tony Atkins fighting hard in third with Stephen Green. They're very close for that third and fourth. In fact, Stephen Green just got around the outside of Atkins and taken up third place. Drama in this race number 3. What has happened to Andrew Appleton? He made a fantastic start, but he's really left Edward Kennett to have this one. Charlie Power riding well in that second place, and Stephen Green actually hunting down Charlie Power for that second now. So Stephen Green going very well in that third place. Now he looks like he's going to challenge on Charlie Power at the end of this race, but Edward Kennett takes the last lap flag. He looks like he's home and dry. He looks down at his machine as he comes into this turn. But I think everything's okay for Kennett at the moment. So, that battle's the second. Still Charlie Powell for that second with Stephen Green in third at the moment. Starting up. Stephen Green into the sixth turn. Comes round the last corner and he does take the win in this third race. Charlie Powell second. Stephen Green third. Tony Atkins fourth. Stuart Mears fifth. Ryan Ashcroft will be sixth and Liam Ashcroft comes home in seventh. So, drama with Andrew Appleton. Let's hope that's nothing terminal, possibly a chain. It looked like he just stopped in the middle of the turn. Could be a chain failure, but we'll have to wait and see. So the results of race number 3, it was a win, and a good win for number 6, Edward Kennett. Second place, number 92, Charlie Powell. Third, number 66, Stephen Green. Fourth place, number 10, Tony Atkin. Fifth place, number 41, Stuart Mears. 6th place, number 45, Ryan Ashcroft, and 7th place, number 83, Liam Ashcroft. And the winning time for Ed, 1 minute 25, 1 minute 25, and Ed's speed, 55.79 miles per hour, 55.79. Those numbers again for race 3, 6, 92, 66, 10, 41, 45, and 83. And race number 4, we see the beginning of our 1000cc sidecar competition for 2019. And coming out in this race, we have got number 48, Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn, former Masters champions, the first time that they've raced this bike in anger. How quickly are they going to get used to that outfit? Also, we've got Colin Blackburn, number 25, and Carl Pugh, former Masters champions. George Penfold and Bradley Steer, of course, have been going really well this year as well. Miles and Robbie Simmons, an excellent crew. Joe Sturtridge had such a good ride at the qualifier, making excellent starts, and also making good starts all season is John Hiscock, number 184. So this really could be an interesting one to start off with in race number 4. So then, the 1000cc sidecars, the British Masters 2019, the most important championship that there is for these riders. Who is going to show their hand first in this race number 4? How important is that first bend going to be? So away we go, and it looks like Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn have made a great start, but Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh are right on their shoulders. George Penfold and Bradley Steer go up the inside in that turn. Winterburn overcooks it in the middle of the turn and slows everyone up. But it is Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn who lead. Colin Blackburn in that second. Miles Simmons trying to go round the outside of Blackburn and does so as he goes into that turn. A good first, second turn by Miles Simmons, but Blackburn comes back up the inside of him, going down that back straight. Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn leading this race, but Miles Simmons looks very quick on that outside line. He looks extremely quick as he comes past us. Again he goes to go round the outside of Colin Blackburn going into this pit corner. He goes right round the outside of Colin Blackburn, Miles Simmons, but he's just not quite got the legs on him on the straight. So, at the front end, the last lap flag is made ready. Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn still leading, but Miles is plugging away for that third place still. Miles and Robbie still plugging away on the outside, but they cannot find a way past. Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh are doing everything they can to make the track as small as possible and blocking Miles Simmons. So, what an opening ride this is for Rod Winterburn. The first time he's raced this machine, and he's leading a field like this. Round the last turn they come, and it is a really for Rod and Billy Winterburn. Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh second, Miles Simmons in third, George Penfold fourth, John Hiscock fifth, and Joe Sturtridge will come home sixth. So the results of a very interesting race number 4. It was a win for number 48, Rod and Billy Winterburn. Second place, number 25, Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh. Third place, number 9, Miles Simmons and Robbie Simmons. Fourth place, number 124, George Penfold and Bradley Steer. Fifth place, number 184, John Hiscock and Terry Madley. And sixth place, number 13, Joe Sturtridge and Sean Hoskin. The winner's time, 1 minute 18, 1 minute 18, and the speed, 53.77 miles per hour. 53.77. So those numbers again, 48, 25, 9, 124, 184 and 13. So, race number 5, the second heat of the sidecar competition this afternoon. And once again, it's another lineup that looks like a final. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders coming out of gate 2. Will Offen and Steve Hargreaves out of gate 1. They've been known to cause a few surprises. Mixed ace, Paul Whitelam, Tom Crosser, Rob Bradley. start as they go up that back straight. Will Often and Steve Hargreaves lead into the third turn. Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders try to go round the outside of them, and Will Often blocked the manoeuvre, but in doing so he's let Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott back the inside. So Paul Whitelam leads going back into this pit corner. Will Often's right up the back of him going into that turn. And Rob Wilson settles into that third place. So a brilliant first turn by Paul Whitelam. Really wide, trying to put the pressure on Rob Wilson. But Paul Whitelam, the door just opened up for him, and now he leads this race. So Will Often in that second place, a good ride from Will Often in that second. Rob Wilson in that third place at the moment. Looking dangerous, looking like he's getting closer to Will Often every turn. Rob Bradley and Darren Wilson settled into that fourth. Cossa and Wayne Rickard way back in fifth at the moment. A disastrous first race for Tom Cossa, who finds himself at the back. The last lap flag's made ready, and Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott look very fast in this one. Rob Wilson's got up the inside of Will Often going into this turn. It gets close in that pit turn, but Will Often and Steve Hargreaves just about hold on to it. Rob Wilson still in that third place. One more turn to hold Rob Wilson at bay. Will Often, can he keep Rob Wilson at bay in the meantime? Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott take the win. Very close to second place. I think I'll leave that to the lap scorers. Incredibly close to that second and third. Rob Bradley and Darren Wills fourth. Tom Cossa and Wayne Rickards, I think, the fifth, and Mick Station Ryan Knowles sixth. So the results of race 5, and what a chase to the line that was between second and third. But there was no doubt about the winner, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. They take the win. Second place, just on the line, number 24, Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. Third place, number 80, Will Often and Steve Hargreaves. Fourth place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Darren Wills. Fifth place, number 29, Tom Cossa and Wayne Rickards. And sixth place, number 18, Mick Stace and Ryan Knowles. The time was 1 minute 19, and the speed 53.09, 53.009. Those numbers again, 92, 24, 80, 87, 29, and 18. So the third heat of the sidecars is coming to the line, and remember that number 12, Neil Owen and Jason Farwell will not take part. Coming in to replace them is a different V-twin Godden, number 68, Dan Berwick, and his passenger Josh Russell. So Dan Berwick and Josh Russell, number 68, coming out of gate 1 in this one. But look at the class we've got here. Coming out of gate 2, Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe, 5 times Masters champions. And coming out of gate 4, reigning defending Masters champions, Gareth Winterburn and Billy Winterburn. Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown, of course, this afternoon. Something we'll have to give in this race number 6. So who is going to show first? We've got some real contenders in this one. We've got Kieran Hicks and Matthew Moroder, of course, as well in this one. Being held on the line a long time. I think Jeff Mees has just rolled into the start line over there. Just adding to that tension on the line. So the gates go up and away they go up. Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe have made a brilliant start. Gareth Winterburn comes up the inside and takes that second from Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey and shuts the door on him. But Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe have got themselves in front after an excellent start. Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown now, they'll be chasing down Mark Cossa. This could be the first time they've been headed this year. So can they do anything about Mark Cossa? The former meeting said he's sorted out a niggling problem that he's had with that machine, and he thinks he's cured the problem. Well, it certainly looks like it at the moment as Mark leaves Gareth. Matthew Moroder has settled into that third place after overcoming Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey. Right at the front, Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe back together again. A little way off the car. Very quick in this one. Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown at the moment don't have an answer to him. The last lap flag's made ready, and it is Mark and Carl that lead. As we go to the pit turn, it does look a bit like Gareth gets a bit closer to Mark coming into this pit turn, but Mark's an awful lot quicker down the back straight. The checkered flag is ready then as they go into this first turn. Gareth Winterburn giving it everything in that second race. No one thinks to stop! Mark Cossa's stop coming to the line! The machine comes to a stop as they come over the line. Absolute disaster for Mark and Carl. Absolute disaster.
Right there. Down here. Come out second. He broke down across it.
So, absolute disaster in race 6 for Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe. That really didn't look good as they came out of this turn. It looks like a real problem with that machine. Absolute disaster for them. But the results of race number 6, in the absence of Crosser and Blythe, it was a win for number 49, Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown. Second place was number 37, Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe. Third, number 15, Matt Fumarola and Gareth Williams. In fourth place, number 78, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey. Fifth place, number 151, Jeff Measer and Gareth Tregilgas. And sixth place, number 68, Dan Berwick and Josh Russell. The winner's time, 1 minute 18. 1 minute 18, and the speed, 53.77. 53.77. So, absolute disaster. Absolute drama in the British Masters sidecars. We'll have to wait and see if Mark is able to go again. I do know that he's got his Speedway outfit here. I'm not sure how well suited this circuit is to the Speedway outfit, but I do know he's got that Speedway outfit in the pits. But far from ideal start for Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe. So we've got the left-hand sidecars coming to the line, race number 7, the support class for this afternoon, the left-hand sidecars. So away we go with the left-hand sidecars, and it looks like John Morris and Dan Woodbridge lead, but just as they go into this turn, Tommy Penfold gets himself to the front. So, Tommy Penfold leading the way. Alex Bowen gets himself into that second place, and John Morris goes back into the turn. So, Tommy Penfold with Terry Draper in the chair this afternoon. They lead into this pit corner. Alex Bowman and Mark Hopkins in that second place. John Morris trying to come up the inside. And I'm surprised to see Rob Heath and Kyle Fish back in fourth at the moment. They've been really flying this year, but they've made a poor start and they're back in fourth, trying to find a way round the outside of John Morris. So then, number 96, Tommy Penfold. Change of passenger for this afternoon, doesn't seem to be slowing him down whatsoever. Rob Heath's now come through for that third place. Alex Bowman and Mark Hopkins are watching Tommy in front carefully because they saw him. The last lap flag's made ready. It is Tommy Penfold and Terry Draper who lead the way as they come past us. Alex Bowman in that second, but he's going to have mirrors on because Rob Heath and Kyle Fish is all over the back of him for that second place. So into this pit lane for the final time. Tommy Penfold leads. Alex Bowman, his second place does not look safe as Rob Heath tries to force a move in that turn, but it's going to be a win for Tommy Penfold and Terry Draper. Rob Heath does come through, I think, just on the line for second place. Alex Bowman in third, John Morris fourth, Billy Penfold fifth, and Tom Penfold, I think, was sixth place. We'll have to find out if he's completed 3/4 race distance. So the results of race number 7, the left-hand sidecars, leg number 1. It was a win for number 96, Tommy Penfold and Terry Draper. Second place, number 18. Had to work hard for that, Rob Heath and Kyle Fish. Third place, number 7, Alex Bauman and Mark Hopkins. Fourth place, number 16, John Morris and Dan Woodbridge. In fifth place, number 125, Billy Penfold and Josh Penfold. And in sixth place, number 5, Tom Penfold and Ryan Barker. The winner's time, 1 minute 44, 1 minute 44, and the speed, 45.60, 45.60. Those numbers again, 96, 18, 7, 16, 125, and 5. So after that short break from the Masters competition, we return to the British Masters now, and coming out into this solo race, race number 8, we have got Paul Hurry and James Shanes, both winners in that first one. Paul's going to hold on to the maximum as they come off the gate. It is both Hurry and Shanes who have made a start, but actually Paul Cooper leads into that turn. Shanes goes very tight on the inside and he takes the lead. Paul Hurry goes into second. Paul Cooper tries to come up the inside. James Shanes once again in front. Paul Cooper in that second with Paul Hurry third. He will want to find a way past Paul Cooper quickly and try and put a challenge on James Shanes. Andrew Whitaker a much better ride this time in fourth. And Stephen Green slides his way into fifth place. This afternoon he's won his first race. He had the fastest time and he's again in this one. Still that battle's on for that second place. Paul Cooper holding on into that second, but Paul Hurry looks very keen to get past him for that second place. He will not want to get too many points, Paul Hurry. That flag made out as we spread out a little bit, and James Shanes will take the last that flag. Keep an eye on this battle between Paul Cooper and Paul Hurry, but it looks like Cooper's got a bit of an edge over Hurry now. He's got a little bit of daylight between him and the third place rider, so it looks like he's got that nailed on. So the second flag made ready. Time today is James Shanes who wins. Paul Cooper with an excellent second place. Paul Hurry third place this time. Fourth to Andrew Whitaker. Fifth place Stephen Green. Sixth place Jamie Fenn-Smith. Seventh place will be Chris Malone. And eighth place number 83 Liam Ashcroft. So race 8, a very impressive win and a very impressive race time as well. Number 93 James Shanes, he takes his second win of the afternoon. In second place number 11 Paul Cooper. Third place, number 86, Paul Hurry. Fourth, number 17, Andrew Whitaker. Fifth place, number 66, Stephen Green. Sixth place, number 32, Jamie Fenn-Smith. Seventh place, number 64, Chris Malone. And eighth place, number 83, Liam Ashcroft. And the winner time, 1 minute 19. 1 minute 19, which equates to 60.03. 60.03. Those numbers again, 93, 11, 86, 17, 66, 32, 64 and 83. So points scored from that race will be added together with the points in the first race. And remember, of course, it's all about getting in that top 8 at the end of the day. There's 4 heats to complete. Then the top 16 will go into the semi-final. And then just the top 8 will contest the British Masters title for 2019. So race number 9, delete number 88, Ben Barker. Replacing Ben Barker is number 92, Charlie Powell, who had a good second place in his first ride. Chris Harris coming to the line this time. He had a disastrous first race. Then he thought himself out of but the way to go. Harris has looped it on the line. Looped the machine on the line. Charlie Powell leads into the turn, but I think the race is going to be stopped. Indeed, I can see the red flags are out. Chris Harris has left off the start line and just put the wheel straight in the air and fallen off the back. So the British Masters misery continues for Chris Harris. He always seems to have bad luck at this meeting. Last year he crashed out very early on. He had problems in his first ride and now he's looped it on the start line. Pleased to see Chris is up and about. Some of you will remember several years ago in that Elite League final, Chris actually got run over by one of the other machines and then ran to the pits to get his machine and got back on. He really is a tough cookie, Chris Harris, so I'm sure that won't deter him, but a disaster because he won't score any points in this race. He's almost certainly excluded. So problems for Chris Harris, but the others, Charlie Powell made an excellent start. Of course, he's the British Masters qualifier winner, which he won back at Bristol earlier in the year. He made an excellent start then, and he had a good ride in his first one too, so Charlie Powell in amongst it this afternoon. Difficult to say what happened to Chris Harris there, but remember that on the speedway they only have one gear on the machine, and on a Grasstrack bike they have two gears, so it looked like it may be to do with his gear change just as he come off the start. I think he went to change into second gear, it just picked up lots of drive and threw him off the back. Of course, the added skill that these riders need is that they go off of the grass, they come out of the rut on the start line, which is dirt, and then they hit some green grass, then they hit dirt again, so they've got several surfaces to get over before they get to the track. So there's an awful lot to be done in that first few feet. It's not as simple as just letting the clutch go and going for it. And even the best in the world like Chris Harris sometimes get it wrong. So with no first heat winners in this race, we have got a chance for somebody else to emerge with maximum points in this race. Who's going to take this win? This could be a very important race. So away they go, and this time they are all away safely, and it's Charlie Powell that leads, but Tom Perry comes round the outside of Charlie Powell to go into that turn. So Tom Perry leads. I forgot to say that Tom Perry and he's got himself in front in this one, and he looks much quicker. So Tom Perry leads Charlie Powell, but he's gone very wide off this turn. Tom Perry's gone very wide and Charlie Powell's sniffing up the inside. Tony Atkins got himself into that third place, but really the battle's on for this first place because Tom Perry leads. Charlie Powell is not very Tim Knowles, I can see, really struggling in that fifth place, and Callum Walker's come round the outside of him on that pit corner. So there's a battle emerging for this fourth place, but it's quickly becoming third place. At the front, once again, Charlie Powell has a nibble at Tom Perry on the inside. They come up to the back of Tony Atkins. Atkins pulled away again now as the last lap flag is made ready for Tom Perry. So then, Tom Perry leading this race. Charlie Powell, Tony Atkins is in that fourth place now. Callum Walker still working hard in that fifth place. But it's going to be a win this time for Tom Perry. Charlie Powell second, Tony Atkins in third, fourth is Daniel Winterton, Callum Walker just hangs on to fifth, Tim Knowles in sixth, and Ryan Ashcroft will be seventh. So the results of race number 9, an interesting race, and it was a win for number 1 Tom Perry. Second place number 92 Charlie Powell. Third place number 10 Tony Atkins. Fourth place number 12 Daniel Winterton. Fifth place number 47 Callum Walker. Sixth place number 2 Tim Knowles. And seventh place number 45 Ryan Ashcroft. Tom's winning time, 1 minute 24, 1 minute 24, and a speed of 56.46. So that's very interesting to see that James Shanes was 5 seconds quicker than Tom Perry. So James Shanes really was on it in that first heat. This time we've got our reigning champion, Zach Wajknecht, coming to the line, and Andrew Appleton, of course, who went out in that first turn after leading into the first turn in the opening ride. Andrew is desperate for points in this one. So the tape's going leg 2, and it's Edward Kennett who leads going into that turn. So Edward Kennett, of course, won his first ride. We didn't mention him all before. Martin Sturgeon's gone round the outside, and it's a brilliant ride by Martin Sturgeon. Always leads going into that turn, but it's Edward Kennett who leads. Sturgeon in that second place. Zach Wajknecht comes up the inside. He'll look to take that second place away from Martin Sturgeon, but Sturgeon still holds on. It's a huge bump coming past us, Martin Sturgeon. But he's just about stayed on the machine, and he's in that third place too. In that second place, I'm looking for Andrew Appleton. He's brought back the disaster continues for Andrew Appleton. But at the front, Edward Kennett, he leads. Zach Wajknecht in second. Sturgeon has settled into that third place, but as I say that, James Wright comes up the inside of him. He was a little bit slow into the turn. Still fighting for that third place. That flag made ready. Edward Kennett, a fantastic ride for him here. Zach Wajknecht once again finds himself in second place. Not a successful defensive title. Andrew Appleton now making his way to fourth. But it's going to be a second win in the afternoon for Edward Kennett. Zach Wajknecht second, James Wright third, Andrew Appleton fourth, Martin Sturgeon ends up fifth, Mark Baseby sixth, Stuart Mears seventh, and Ben Ilsley 8th. So the results of an eventful race number 10. It was a win and a second win in the afternoon for number 6 Edward Kennett. Second place number 109 Zach Wajknecht. Third number 69 James Wright. Fourth number 4 Andrew Appleton. Fifth place, number 15, Martin Sturgeon. Sixth place, number 44, Mark Baseby. Seventh place, number 41, Stuart Mears. And eighth place, number 82, Ben Ilsley. The winner's time, 1 minute 22. 1 minute 22, and that equates to 57.83 miles per hour. Those numbers again, 6, 109, 69, 4, 15, 44, 41, and 82.
Team riding going on here. Do you remember that time Mike Tristan turned? Slowed down to let the starboard wind the Masters. Remember that?
So, race 11, we turn our attention back to the Masters sidecar competition. And in this one, of course, we've got number 48, Rod and Billy Winterburn, not Ryan Walton, Rod and Billy Winterburn. They won their first heat. Also in this one, we've got number 92, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. They won their first heat. And also we've got number 49, Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown. They won their first heat. So we've got all 3 first leg winners coming together in this one. Paul Whitelam, of course, rode that brilliant first bend to take his win. Gareth Winterburn inherited the lead when Mark Cosser came to a stop. And Rod Winterburn looked extremely quick on that new outfit. We've also got George Penfold and Bradley Steer in this one, who we know are a very quick crew. So something we'll have to give in this one. So we have had a notice from the clerk of the course that there are a few spectators that are getting themselves into some restricted areas. Now there's a restricted area over the back straight towards the pits where the water bowser is. If there are spectators getting themselves into that area, we cannot race. We have to stop. We have to stop the racing. Now, I'm sure that no one will go wandering in there during a race, but we would have to red flag the race. It's incredibly serious, so please make sure you're keeping yourselves well out the way of the restricted areas. Most of the way around the track you will be behind 4 ropes. There's a double rope to start with and then 3 separate ropes. You need to make sure that you're behind those at all times to keep yourselves as safe as possible.
You've got to indulge. You've got to be a bit unlucky.
So whilst all this is going on, I can tell you that Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe will be out racing in this next leg on their speedway machine. They're out in the next heat, so they'll have to get used to that speedway outfit very, very quickly. The geometry of the machine quite different to a grass track bike, no rear suspension, but we know how good Mark and Carl are. And they managed a second place even when they packed up, so this is definitely not over yet. Up on this very important race, and the three first heat winners are the three that charge into that first turn, but it's John Whitaker that leads into that turn. He dives to the inside. Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown try to come across the front of him, and Whitelam blocks in. He leads. Whitelam lifts coming over the past us. Whitelam lifted heavily coming past us, and I think I just slowed him up, but he's gone back up the inside of Winterburn in that turn. It's very close on the front line, but it's Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown that lead. They came right past us, and there's a hole in the track. I think they hit it right on the outside. Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown then, they get themselves back in front with Whitelam in that second place. Rod Winterburn's in that third place, doesn't look like he's got an answer to the front two. They didn't have it all their own way in the first heat, but they certainly have made up for it in this second one. They look very, very quick, taking the last lap flag. And for Whitelam and Alan Elliott, who looked quick at the beginning, they cannot do anything about the speed of Gareth Winterburn at the front. He's charged away from the field, and he's going to take his second win of the afternoon. For Whitelam and Alan Elliott come home second, with Rod Winterburn in third. Problems for George Penfold. He does pick up a fourth, but that machine does not sound good. Dan Berwick holds on for fifth, and Joe Sturtridge in sixth. So, race 11, the second leg of the 1000cc sidecar competition, and holding on to their maximum, it was a win for number 49, Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown. Second place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. Third place, number 48, Rod and Billy Winterburn. Fourth place, number 124, George Penfold and Bradley Steer. Fifth, number 68, Dan Berwick and Josh Russell. And sixth place, number 13, Joe Sturtridge and Sean Hoskin. The winner's time for Gareth and Liam, 1 minute and 17 seconds, and that equates to a speed of 54.47, and I'm just having a look back at the last set of heats, and that is indeed the fastest time and speed so far this afternoon. So this circuit's getting quicker, and the machines are starting to get themselves dialed in. The riders are getting the setups right, definitely getting faster. So then, race number 12, and this will be fascinating, because Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe, they were home and dry in that opening race, and now they've been forced to use that speedway outfit. You can see it looks very different. It's got fairings all around the machine, there's no rear suspension on the bike, completely different geometry and setup to a grass track bike. How quickly will Mark and Carl be able to get used to that speedway outfit this afternoon? They still came second, remember, in that first race, so they're very much still in this competition at this stage. Tom Crosser, number 29, and Wayne Rickards coming off the outside this time. They had a disastrous start in their first one. They are desperate for points, having only scored 2 in their opening ride. Several other very quick outfits in this one. Will Austin and Steve Hargreaves, they had a great start in their first one. They led for a while. They've obviously got the gating gloves on this afternoon. Could they cause an upset once again and get themselves out in front at the early stages of this race? So away we go, and it is Miles Simmons who makes a good start, and Will Austin once again makes an even number one. Will Austin leads into this turn and comes across Miles Simmons. Simmons is hard on Will Austin in this turn. They come together in the middle of the turn, but it is Miles Simmons who leads coming past us. I can see that contact between he and Will Austin has caused this sidecar cover to change. Mark Cross has moved his way up into third after an excellent pit corner, so he's getting his stuff quickly, but Rob Wilson he's got to negotiate next. Meanwhile, Miles and Robbie Simmons got themselves in front, and Mark Cross has come past Rob Wilson. So Mark Crosser and Carl Blythe, they look very, very quick. They're getting filled in as they come past us. Miles Simmons runs wide into that turn, and Tom Cossa's now come through into fourth. So Miles Simmons and Robbie Simmons still lead, but Marcus and Carl Live will be desperate to get past them. They've got used to this sidecar speedway machine very, very quickly. It's very jumpy there on those bumps. Last lap flag then, Miles Simmons, can he hold on? Mark Cossa's got into the turn very hard and he's come past Miles Simmons. Simmons goes back around the outside of him down that back straight. But Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe get themselves into the lead. A fantastic ride by Cossa and Blythe. Round they come on this last turn. A terrific win by Cossa and Blythe. Miles Simmons in, Robbie Simmons second, Rob Wilson third, Tom Cossa fourth, Will Oppen fifth, and John Hiscock in sixth place. Well, what a comeback by Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe. Remember, that machine has got no rear suspension. They were being bounced around all over the place coming out of this turn. Fantastic ride by Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe. So the results of race 12. It was a win for number 37, Mark Cossa and Carl Blythe. Second place, number 9, Miles Simmons and Robbie Simmons. Third place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Terry Saunders. Fourth place, number 29, Tom Cossa and Wayne Rickards. Fifth place, number 80, Will Offen and Steve Hargreaves. And sixth place, number 184, John Hiscock and Terry Madley. Winner's time, 1 minute 18. And the speed, 53.77. 1 minute 18. So, a little bit slower, a second slower than the previous one, but not far off, especially considering he had to work his way through the pack. Those numbers again, 37, 9, 24, 29, 80 and 184. So we move to race number 13, and we've got no first heat winners in this one, but we have got number 25, Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh, who had a good second place in their opening ride. To go up on this race, number 13 and number 78, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey have made a fantastic start. They lead into the first turn. Rob Bradley and Darren Wilson follow them in there in second place, and Colin Blackburn's in that third. Matthew Marola and Gareth Williams are in fourth at the moment. So Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey didn't have the best of starts to their British Masters campaign in the first one, but they've certainly made a good start in this one. They lead coming off that banking on the pit corner. So then, Rob Bradley and Darren Wills. We've really got youth versus experience here, because Rob Bradley has been riding for many, many years, and he's trying to find a gap up the inside of Kieran Hicks. Hicks is a bit wide coming into that turn. I think he's trying to cut across the corner, and Rob Bradley's trying to fill the gap with his outfit as they go into that pit corner. But at the moment, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey have just about got enough to stay in front of Bradley and Wills as they come out of this turn. They cannot afford to make a mistake as they come out of that turn. Last lap flag is out, and it's still Kieran Hicks who leads. He's still leaving that little gap coming into this pit turn. He's just leaving a little gap. It's enough to let Rob Bradley come up the inside, but he's not got enough speed in the middle of the corner to get past him. So the checkered flag is made ready, and it looks like it's going to be a win for number 78, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey. An excellent win in their second heat. Rob Bradley second, Colin Blackburn third, Matthew Marola fourth. Mick Stace has packed up coming to the line, unfortunately. So Jeff Measer takes fifth and Mick Stace comes sixth. So race 13. It saw a win, and an excellent win for 21-year-old Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey. Second place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Darren Wills. Third place, number 25, Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh. Fourth place, number 15, Matthew Marola and Gareth Williams. Fifth, number 151, Jeff Measer and Gareth Tregilgas. And sixth place, number 18, Mick Stace and Ryan Knowles. But they look like they had problems up on that turn. Could be like they're looking for a chain perhaps as they stand over there. So you can see we've got a bit of track watering taking place now, just to make sure that the circuit is up to tip-top condition. I can tell you that after 2 legs in the solo competition, presently leading, joint leading at the moment with 18 points, is Edward Kennett and James Shanes. And remember, it's all about getting in that top 8. So at the moment in 3rd place, tied on 15 points, is Paul Hurry and Tom Perry. And tied in 5th place at the moment is Paul Cooper, Charlie Powell and Zach Wajknecht. And at the moment, on the bubble of that top 8 is number 69, James Wright, with 12 points. But of course, not far away in 9th place with 11 points, so only a point behind is Tony Atkin. And 10th place with 10 points is Stephen. So we're still very much in the early stages of this competition in the solo class. It's still very much open for debate on who's going to end up in that top 8. I can see that it is a chain that Mick Stace has lost up on that top corner. So hopefully that's not swung round and done too much damage to the engine and they can take part further in the meeting. So I've not given you the time for race number 13. It was a win, of course, for Kieran Hicks, but his time was 1 minute 18. 1 minute 18. And the speed, exactly the same as the first race, 53.77. The numbers for race 13, 78, 87, 25, 15, 151 and 18. So high drama in that sidecar competition, of course, with Mark Cosser seemingly blowing the engine on his Grasstrack bike and referring to that Speedway bike. Some of you might remember, people have ridden Speedway sidecar outfits before to great success as well at the British Masters, and many of you remember Ivor Matthews several years ago, often campaigned on a sidecar Speedway outfit. He actually won the British Masters in 1993, but he wasn't on a sidecar Speedway outfit then. He used one for the 94 Masters, and the engine blew up just as he was about to win. So drama is nothing new in the 1000cc sidecars, and sidecar Speedway outfits being used is nothing new either. In the sidecar competition, of course, it's not about top 8, it's about the top 6. They've got to get into that top 6 after the 4 heats and the semi-final. And at the moment, of course, leading on points is number 49, Gareth Winterburn and Liam Brown. They've won both of their heats and therefore are on 14 points. Second to them, joint on 12 points, is Paul Whitener and Alan Elliott and Mark Cosser and Carl Bly. And in 4th place at the moment, on 11 points, is number 48, Rod and Billy Winterburn. And 5th place after that tremendous ride in that last race, Kieran Hicks and Kieran Ivey on 10 points. So only 4 points behind the leaders now, Kieran Hicks, so it is very tight. And currently tied for that all-important 6th position are 3 outfits, all on 9 points going into the 3rd leg. Miles Simmons and Robbie Simmons, Rob Wilson and Terry Salters, and Colin Blackburn and Carl Pugh, all tied on 9 points for that 6th place. So very tight in the sidecar competition. So after that quick track water, we've now got the left-hand sidecars coming out for their second heat, and Alex Bauman and Mark Hopkins lead going into that first turn. I can see Tom Penfold and Ryan Barker have got themselves into second after a much better start. And eagerly looking for where Tommy Penfold is. He's actually in 5th at the moment, so the first heat winner has found himself right back in 5th place. It's tremendously difficult to overtake on one of these machines, so it'll be interesting to see how outfit number 96 progresses in this race. He's gone very wide to try and come around the outside of Johnny Morris in that turn. Hopefully he sees that Tom Penfold has stopped. Tom Penfold stopped, John Morris is on the 4th, and that means that now Tommy Penfold's in 3rd. Meanwhile, at the front, Alex Bauman, the Welshman, with his passenger Mark Hopkins. They lead this race from the British champions, Rob Heath and Kyle Fish in that second place. They look very quick in that second place. So in this quick corner, Alex Bauman, he's doing everything he can to be really careful, stay on that inside line, keep Rob Heath at bay. Passenger Mark Hopkins looks behind him to see where Rob Heath is. Perhaps he can communicate something to Alex, tell Alex where to go, but Heath is so quick off that back straight. Alex Bauman and Mark Hopkins, all they can do is just hug that inside line. Rob Heath and Kyle Fish steal victory from Alex Bauman at the very last corner. Tommy Penfold in third, Johnny Morris is in fourth, and Billy Penfold in fifth. So the results of race number 14, the left-hand sidecar second leg, it was a win for number 18, Rob Heath and Kyle Fish. Second place, number 7, Alex Bauman and Mark Hopkins. Third place, number 96, Tommy Penfold and Terry Draper. Fourth place, number 16, John Morris and Dan Woodbridge. And fifth place, number 125, Billy and Josh Penfold. Rob's winning time, 1 minute 43, 1 minute 43, and that equates to a speed, an average speed of 46.04 miles per hour. Those numbers again, 18, 7, 96, 16 and 125.
Inside? Yeah, basically covered.
So we move very quickly to leg 3 of the British Masters solo competition, and the riders for race 15 are coming to the line. We've got James Shanes in this one, he's unbeaten so far, but also in this one we've got Edward Kennett, number 6, he's unbeaten so far. Tom Perry comes to the line, he's had a win as well, so a few riders this time right in amongst it. So away we go with race 15, and it is Kennett and Shanes that lead into this turn, but James Shanes leads into that turn, he turns the machine hard into that first turn, and it is James Shanes who leads. Edward Kennett. And Kennett, what do you think about the speed of James Shanes? He looks incredibly fast on that pit corner. In fact, Kennett's more worried about the moment defending Tom Perry, I think, because Tom Perry looks very quick in that third place. Charlie Powell having another good ride in fourth with Andrew Whitaker. So then, James Shanes, very much looking very fast this afternoon. Edward Kennett has got no answer to him in this one. We knew that James Shanes had a very fast time in that first ride. James Shanes then takes the last outside. Edward Kennett in that second place and Tom Perry third. There's a real battle on now for fourth because Stephen Green has got himself past Andrew Appleton, and now he's chasing after Charlie Powell. Incredibly wide on that turn. James Shanes, he takes his third win of the afternoon. Edward Kennett comes home in second this time. Tom Perry third, Charlie Powell fourth, Stephen Green fifth, Andrew Appleton sixth. 7th place will be Ryan Ashcroft, and 8th place Ben Ilsley. So a real marker thrown down there for James Shanes. 2 riders that were on maximums. Now there's only one. It was a win for number 93 James Shanes. 2nd place number 6 Edward Kennett. 3rd place number 1 Tom Perry. 4th number 92 Charlie Powell. 5th place number 66 Stephen Green. 6th place number 4 Andrew Appleton. 7th place number 45 Ryan Ashcroft. And 8th place number 82 Ben Ilsley. The winner's time was 1 minute 20, 1 minute 20, and that is a speed of 59.28. 59.28. Those numbers again: 93, 6, 1, 92, 66, 4, 45, and 82. So then race 16, the second heat of the third leg of the Masters Solos. Paul Hurry dropped points in that last race. Can he get himself back in the lead this time as they leave the line? It's a great start by James Wright, number 69. He leads into the first turn. Paul Hurry goes in wide into that first turn to try and gather some speed to mount the challenge on James Wright, but it is quite but James Wright, much better ride for him this time. He's got himself in front, but he's gone very wide, and he's nearly let Paul Hurry up the inside. He's given him a sniff, and Paul Hurry's now switched to the outside. But James Wright gets in a bit of trouble in the middle of the turn. It's close down the back straight. James Wright Paul Hurry's right on his inside in that second place. Wright goes wide, and Hurry comes up the inside. James Wright loses his metal shield as he comes past us there. So Paul Hurry in the lead, but he's drifted wide, and Wright comes back up the inside of him. James Wright's up the inside of James Wright hasn't actually so he's not going to have progress. It does feel like he's slowed up a little bit because Paul Hurry's in the lead now. He takes the last lap flag. A real valiant effort by James Wright though, because he's still pressing on despite having lost that steel shoe. So into the split turn, it looks like Paul Hurry's got now, comes round the final turn. It is a win for Paul Hurry. James Wright comes home second. Third place is going to be Tony Atkin with Daniel Winterton fourth. Fifth place is Stuart Mears. Our reserve Aaron Butcher comes home in sixth. Seventh is Chris Malone, and Liam Ashcroft eighth. So the results of an excellent battle in race 16. It was a win for number 86 Paul Hurry. Second place number 69 James Wright. Third place number 10 Tony Atkin. Fourth place number 12 Daniel Winterton. Fifth place number 41 Stuart Mears. Sixth place number 20 Aaron Butcher. Seventh place number 64 Chris Malone. And eighth place, number 83, Liam Ashcroft. Number 20, Aaron Butcher, was a replacement for number 32, Jamie Fenn-Smith, in that race. So Aaron Butcher came in for Jamie Fenn-Smith. Paul Hurry's winning time, 1 minute 23. And the speed, 57.14. Those numbers again, 86, 69, 10, 12, 41, 20, 64, and 83.
Oh, bummer. Can't keep it on the floor.
So race 17 comes to the line, and we've had good rides so far for Paul Cooper, and Zach Wajknecht is right in amongst it despite having not won a race yet. But what can Chris Harris do this time? He's had a disastrous day so far. So away we go, and it's very tight as they come past us, but it is Zach Wajknecht who's just got himself in front. Paul Cooper's nipped up the inside of him in that turn. Zach Wajknecht's ridden wide and he's got away. Chris Harris has got himself up in the fourth, and he's just about to overtake Martin Sturgeon for that third place as well. So, Zach Wajknecht, for the first time this afternoon, has got himself in front. Paul Cooper though will not let up. He's going up the inside, he's struggling to get past, but he's trying to get past Zach Wajknecht. And Martin Sturgeon, so misery still continues for Chris Harris as he looks like he's going to pull up in that pit corner. So at the front, Zach Wajknecht, number 109, defending his title this afternoon. He'll know all he's got to do is get himself in that top 8. They won't matter too much if he keeps winning like this. Last lap flag goes out for Zach Wajknecht. There's a faller on this turn that we've missed. So somebody's come down and they've stopped the race as they come past us. So whilst we were watching the race at the front, Tim Nobes has fallen on that turn, got himself into a bit of a mess in the middle of the turn, and he's fallen, bringing the race to a stop. So just while the medics are dealing with Tim Nobes, there is a sidecar wheel disc that's gone away somewhere around the circuit. We think it's up on the top corner. So if you know where that sidecar wheel disc is, can you please return it to an official or up to the PA box, please? It's red and it came off in the sidecar race, so if you know it's there, if it's in front of you somewhere, or if you can see it, either tell an official where it is or bring it to the PA box as quickly as you can. But the rest of the riders are onto the track, so we are looking forward to race number 18. So race number 18, the Masters sidecars, and I can see Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn on the circuit, and Mark Cosser and Carl Blythe have appeared, and that is Steph Blythe's outfit. Now he's the second reserve, Steph Blythe, so it looks like very charitably he's given the machine to Mark Cosser to use, and of course his brother Carl Blythe, so a bit of brotherly love has come in handy there for Mark and Carl, because that is Steph Blythe's machine. Obviously that Speedway outfit not quite up to the job, despite the fact he went from 5th to 1st in his heat. He's obviously much more comfortable on a Grasstrack machine, and he's reverted to that machine of Steph Blythe. So race number 18, of course, Rod Winterburn not passengered by Ryan Wharton, he's passengered by Billy Winterburn in this one. They're coming out of gate 4, they've had a win and a third so far. And Dan Berwick, number 68, and Josh Russell in this one as well, replacing Neil Owen and Jason Farwell. So we've got Dan Berwick and Josh Russell coming out of gate 6 in this race. Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott have been going very well this afternoon. Can they do anything about Mark Cosser on that unfamiliar machine? Takes you out and away they go. Once again it's a fabulous start by Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. They lead going into that first. Tom Cosser comes into that second place, and Mark Cosser tucks in for that third, which relegates Rod Winterburn to 4th. So, Rod Winterburn moves Mark Cosser over as they come up this back straight. I can see a sidecar wheel disc coming into the crowd, but it's Paul Whitelam that leads. Tom Cosser's in that second, it's very tight for that third and fourth. Mark Cosser's coming up inside of Rod Winterburn, but he's not quite got enough speed as they go into that turn. So Paul Whitelam won't care about any of that in front. They're all tripping over each other for that second, third and fourth, and while they've done that, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott have got away. Still Mark Cosser working hard for that 4th place. He's trying to get past Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn. But there's just no space at the moment, and Rod and Billy are quick enough to hold Mark Cosser at bay. But at the front, the last lap flag comes out for Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. Tom Cosser and Wayne Rickards are a little bit closer to them in the late stages. Mark Cosser tries to get up the inside of Rod Winterburn into that pit corner. Nobody can make any inroads on anyone, as I say that Rod Winterburn closes in on Tom Cosser for that second place. Turns the bike hard at the inside, and looks like Winterburn might come up the inside of Cosser. In fact, he does for that second place. A brilliant last corner by Rod Winterburn and Billy Winterburn to pick off Tom Cosser for that third. So, lots of drama again in race 18, but rising above all of that, in first place, the winner, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Alan Elliott. Second place, number 48, Rod and Billy Winterburn. Third place, number 29, Tom Cosser and Wayne Rickards. Fourth place, number 37, Mark Cosser and Carl Blythe. 5th place, number 151, Jeff Measer and Gareth Tregilgas. And in 6th place, number 68, Dan Berwick and Josh Russell. The winner's time, 1 minute 18, and that equates to a speed of 53.77. Numbers again, 92, 48, 29, 37, 151 and 68.